What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch.
I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to be looking at UFC Fight Night Gone versus Tuivasa. We're going to be looking at the co-main event, the Reaper Robert Whittaker versus the Italian Dream Marvin Vettori. But before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view. So if you're looking for content like this, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. And yeah, let's get right into it, Jeff. What we got?
So we got Robert the Reaper Whittaker. He's currently ranked number 1. He's 23-6, 31 years old. He's 6 feet tall, 73.5-inch reach. He's coming off a loss against Israel Adesanya. Before that was a win against Kelvin Gastelum. And he's going up against Marvin, the Italian Dream Vettori. He's currently ranked number 3. He's 18-4-1, 28 years old, 6 foot tall, 74-inch reach. And he's coming off a win against Paulo Costa. And before that was a loss against Israel Adesanya. What you think, Latch?
Yeah, I think this is basically another number 1 contender fight. You got the number 1 ranked, obviously, Robert Whittaker coming off his loss to Adesanya. And then you got Marvin Vettori, who he did fight Paulo Costa 205, but before that he did fail to get the title off Adesanya. So whoever wins this is probably making, their third case to fight Adesanya, unless he loses to Pereira. So, I mean, there's a lot at stake because if Pereira wins, then, I mean, you're basically setting yourself up to be the number 1 contender. And I think both guys deserve it. Robert Whittaker was a former champion. He's fought everybody. He's beaten the top guys, basically fought his way back to the top to get his spot as the number 1 contender. And then Marvin Vettori is up and coming. He's still really young. I was surprised to find out he was only 28 years old. But he's obviously super durable. He's a really good striker. He's a little more well-rounded when it comes to the grappling. He obviously has really good jiu-jitsu. His wrestling could use a little work, but it's still pretty strong for, what he puts out. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Robert Whittaker fight other top contenders and kind of take him to school. His style is a little tricky. He's very light on his feet, a very karate-based style. He's very light on his feet, likes to go in and out of danger. And a lot of guys haven't been able to figure him out, And so I think Marvin Vettori poses a very interesting threat. Just like Kelvin Gastelum was, he's extremely durable. We saw that in his last fight. He likes to put on a little more pressure than Gastelum does. So we're going to have to see Robert Whittaker, how he deals with that pressure. If his power is enough to kind of halt Vettori in his tracks to get him off of him. It'll be interesting to see, but I think the biggest blip is the grappling. I think Vettori has shown that he's a really good grappler when it comes to jiu-jitsu. His wrestling has been improving, but we saw that Whittaker has been working on his wrestling. We saw a little more of it against Adesanya. It's very improved. I just don't know if he'll be well-rounded enough to stop the takedowns consistently. But what do you think, Jeff?
I don't know. I mean, I would think that Marvin Vettori would use his grappling. I feel like he really hasn't, though, especially against Paulo Costa. I mean, he brought it out, but it wasn't like well, at least I didn't think it was like a difference maker. Because I feel like he was winning on the feet anyway. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one because I think Robert Whittaker, I mean, his previous fights, I feel like he had a good game plan going into all of them, except maybe the Israel Adesanya fight. Like, it didn't really, I guess the execution wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, when you think about it, when you have a big reach and height advantage, it's kind of hard to execute a plan. I think he's going to have a plan for Vettori, but I don't know. Vettori's going to push him back, and I think points-wise, I think he's probably going to win points-wise, I think Marvin Vettori might land more punches because he's a little bigger.
Yeah, well, I feel like this is a great matchup. I think this is a very interesting matchup for Whittaker. We've seen him fight guys that I feel like stylistically he had an advantage over. But I feel like Vettori causes a lot of problems, especially in the grappling. But even on the feet, he's not a very powerful striker. But he is a kind of a volume striker. When he goes, he throws in combinations. Obviously, he's very durable, so he can really take a punch. We've seen that before. So I don't know. I feel like he has all the tools to beat Whittaker, especially by, like you said, by decision. If he can smother him and stuff. I've seen Whittaker kind of go through these contenders and show not only that he's better, but basically take him to school. He did it with Cannonier. I mean, yeah, Vettori has all the tools to beat him. I just don't know if he's going to be able to put it all together. He's been saying that he's been getting better and Whittaker hasn't. But I do think Whittaker has improved, especially in his grappling. His boxing has improved a little bit too. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if Vettori wins a decision using everything. Like, if he's able to combine everything perfectly, I can definitely see him winning a decision. Or maybe even a submission if he can get him down easily. But I think we've seen Whittaker be too experienced, so I think I'm gonna have to go with Robert Whittaker by decision. I just think it's a little safer, especially because we've seen him at the highest level. We've seen him beat other contenders. Marvin Vettori has fought some other contenders, but not as many as Whittaker, and he hasn't made it look easy like he did. So I'm gonna have to go with Robert Whittaker by decision. It's gonna be a very close fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see this fight ending early. I think this is definitely going to go the distance. Both of these guys are pretty durable. I mean, I don't think Marvin Vettori has like the knockout power per se, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I think this is going to go the distance as well. I think Marvin Vettori is going to do a good job, but I think Robert Whittaker is actually going to win maybe a split, dude.
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna be close, I think.
yeah, so
For sure.
I think Robert Whittaker is going to win by decision.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you think. We both have Robert Whittaker by decision. We just think he's a little too experienced, and I think he has shown and proved that he belongs at this level. Marvin Vettori, you know, he's had some pretty good performances, but and definitely has all the tools to beat Whittaker. But I think just from what we've seen, I think Whittaker will probably prove that he's truly the number one contender, the next best guy in this division. But let us know down below what you think. Do you think we're underestimating Marvin Vettori? Do you think he has all the tools to take the number one spot from Robert Whittaker? Let us know down below. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Check out our other videos. We're actually doing the main event for this same fight. It's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in. The first card in Paris. Let's go. It's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
See
See
ya.
ya.